What's the general demi operation? Dog. Well. Oh, dog. Well, hand me that guitar. Hand me that guitar, dog. Let's get this show on the road. Here's one you'll know.
Howdy friends, it's me, Skymaster Demi. Happy Tuesday, happy almost IRL meetup. I see X in here, I'm super excited to meet. I see, of course, Kwanzo. I see Shingo, nice to see you. Nyanzaku came last year, great to see you guys, hello. Retro, always a pleasure to see you too. Yes, emotes are nice on Twitch, that's a very, very true thing. And I saw ZX as well. That is the one thing about Twitch over YouTube, right? You can get those emotes on here. Although I guess YouTube has emotes too, I've just been bad. Pizza Roll! Pizza Roll, the new Ace Attorney fan. Nice to see you. Let's go ahead and boot this up. I'm really glad, Pizza Roll, by the way, that you are not in the range of that hurricane. I was really happy to hear that. That would be very upsetting to me if it were. Even though you're a little liar. I'm just kidding. Alright, let's go and play this up. The opener. What's the opener? We're talking about case 1? Oh, you're all good. You're all good, Kim. Don't even worry about it. Nice to see you, man. Don't even worry about it. Visor, maybe next year we won't do October. The storm is bad. Oh, boy. This is very true. This is all very true. Giratina, why not? Why more than a year? Why more than a year, I wonder? I don't know the answer to that. Okay, let me boot this up. Holy cow. Yeah, ZX, I just learned that you're in Florida, too. Wild. You're not a liar, but a hater. Are you a hater of pizza rolls? Is that what you're trying to tell me? You're just a gluten hater? Is that possibly the scenario here? Alright. Give me a second, you guys. Oh, right. Let's, should we move the face back? Let's do it the same way we normally do it. You hated Phoenix Wright. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you've come around. It's so up your alley. Oh, I love that. I love that retro. Oh, wait. No. You're talking about hurricanes. Oh, gosh. That's terrible. You never folded so fast. If October just doesn't work as your birthday, your mom will want to see you. Even if we celebrate your birthday with you. Why is it even if we get a birthday cake? Even if we do that. Alright, so again, very, very recently, I talked about my predictions for Case 2. I am very curious if we are going to end up going to London or if it's still going to be Kazuya. We're going to find out right now. Or Kazuma. We're going to find out right now. I have a feeling that maybe we are going to get chosen over him because of our amazing performance. That's my prediction. We'll see how it goes. The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Okay, these like voiced. First of all, any voice acting in an Ace Attorney game is going to elevate it tremendously. This is like a Sherlock Holmes scenario there.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian.
Oh, it's her.
Suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What?
Don't be absurd. This is murder. An cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Herlock Sholmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
What is going on? We've got Herlock Sholmes up in here. We've got Suzato. I saw the detective. Cowbell. It was actually Herlock Sholmes. Oh, man. Oh, Johnny Young Bosch is one of the best voice actors ever. Lelouch, Vive Britannia. There's trouble in the air. Pizza, what do you think about Herlock Sholmes? Wait, I can't move. Whoa. What the? Why am I in handcuffs? Huh, so you wake up now, hmm? We have to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You. Ah, you found me then. Ah, we found you, and now you pay. Criminal. I'm surprised this is Russian and not Borginian. I feel like Borginia was the Russian counterpart. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, Ugh, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Susato, why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Susato! Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Ha! You pretend you do not know. You are a wolf in the sheep's belt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-sama body was discovered not long ago? Wait, this is just like Mia Fey? Our sweet, awesome mentor is dying in the start of case 2? And they think I killed Kazuma? In this very cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. His body? Please. Do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please! No. No! This is crazy! I would never have expected this setup. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Haha! Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? Ah! Okay. Okay. This makes sense. I like this. This makes sense. This is cool. I like this. Except he's dead! I don't like this! I don't like this! It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. Thought I was gonna die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really don't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey! Honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Adventurous Sholmes? Is that supplementary material for this character, Kwanzaa? Like, there's an Ace Attorney novel? Well, it's about 50 days till we dock in Great Britain. 50 days, wow. Makes you forget how long the speed of travel. I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They were a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotoba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point, surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about time the steward's supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. Won't be for long. Wait, NTH, first of all, nice to see you. Second of all, that you can't spell woe the other way? Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write keep out or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. Ooh, RPG haste, that's such a great idea. We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. If there's a great thief component. Stay quiet till then, don't make more trouble. Murderer? No, I'm not a murderer. Da, you said before, you said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but... Murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Suzato-san? Please tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there was something I would like to ask of you, too. Ugh, those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. Suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. This is the second time! Poor Ryunosuke! He really has been killed, hasn't he? It's not just a bad dream? And these handcuffs, they think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolts on the door can't be operated from the outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit could not have escaped these four walls. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Suzato-san, you have to tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury? That's true, yes. Can anyone tell me what actually happened here? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably, that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please. Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. Yeah, Haste, you and me both. I was waiting outside his cabin as I have every day so far. But this morning, he did not come. I could sense he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Suzato-san arrived? I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, there was Kazuma-san, collapsed on the floor. And the white tape now shows exactly where he was found. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe for me too, trust me. Now I've told you everything that I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. Ugh, my head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Listen to this music, you guys. Why were you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. How could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? No, that would have been impossible, obviously. I love her. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you. But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? You ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London's at the spearhead of cultural development. The center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. What is going on here? Kazuma-sama, he was always saying the same thing, that he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Yes, maybe. Something's still bothering me. The look in his eyes, then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Suzato-san? I'm sorry we kept it a secret from you, my stowing away on the ship, I mean. If I knew Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me to avoid me becoming guilty by association. It sure is, Haste. Word perfect, in fact. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in the cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yeah. So deeply you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed. She is so smart. She is, look how sharp she is. Well, yes. She thinks we're so sus. Really, I do, but it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. In God, for some reason my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it. Suzato-san, you have to believe me, I didn't do it! I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there's no one who could possibly have done this. What does Herlock Sholmes think? Have we met Herlock Sholmes yet? Maybe we have to depart. Maybe we have to board for him to join us. Maybe that was a glimpse in the future. Why? Why did this have to happen? Ugh, I can't take this! Don't try to go anywhere! You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry. But Kazuma was killed right under my nose here. And I didn't do anything to stop it. And now, I'm supposed to sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hiya! What the? That was a Suzato takedown. I love her! I love her! Holy cow! Suzato, what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry, prove it. Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Suzato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now. I guess it's just this.
Yes!
Maybe it's my pill. Maybe it's my pin. How about this? You can't trick me with something irrelevant. Oh. I was thinking maybe it was like my justice. The way you're looking at me, I think perhaps I didn't throw you hard enough.
Yes!
Yes! Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe, was this piece of paper stuck on the doors? Oh, yes it was. I remember it clearly. I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah! Yes, of course! The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign out from the wardrobe doors. Before he opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Suzato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating here in the least. Thank you! So you finally believe me! I'm sorry, no. I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you use some sort of conjuring trick. What does she think I am, a magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible. Let's get to work, Susato-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyway, should make a start on investigating. Cosmo, I swear I'll avenge your death. Okay, the Russian is very suspicious. Did Cosmo write that before he died? Looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk. It honestly looks more Greek to me than Russian. Hey, Chief Dog the Third! What's the hoop, dog? Chief, have you been playing UFO 50 yet? It's really good. You should definitely phase in with us. Only 25 bucks. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san. What? Then what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Oh dear, that won't do. What's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. Ah, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? She is so polite. I'm sure you're careful to look all around, aren't you? What a polite way to say that. Yes, let's do it. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Shingo, so true. Patriza, yes! I'm so glad we finally get to play more Ace Attorney for you, my friend. Ooh, Metaphor, that's sweet, Chief. Yeah, Chief, you should definitely phase in. It's a sweet video game. What do you think it is? It looks like a piece of broken glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. I know, I can't believe it's Mia. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around, would he? And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue. You're right. It's the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color. It's some 2 weeks before we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? It's really surprising that our female partner is not some overactive, like, hyper-bubbly girl. It's really interesting to see the politeness. It really is. Oh, Chief, I'm hyped for you to play it. I think you'll really enjoy it. The first game and the second game were both pretty interesting. Though it must have been rather exciting, making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. I wonder if that's really notable that we didn't wake up, if it was a silent death somehow. The books have fallen over on the shelf. They've toppled the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. It's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything mown down at once. Or a bit of turbulence, maybe. Could there have been turbulence on the boat? Perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training. Perhaps it was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage. I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case? Well, it'll set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. Wait, we're messing with the crime scene. Suzato? Books are provided for the entertainment, I suppose. They must be well looked after. Mustn't damage any of the ship's property. Is Metaphor by Atlas or it's by the Persona guys who split off? Because I think what's his face split away, right? Meguro Shoji. I feel much better now that they're neatly lined up. These are the rules of passage. A list of requests. But see, I thought the Persona guys left. Or maybe that's that other fantasy game or something. Maybe I'm thinking of the gun game. There's like a gun game in the future with social links. A list of requests. Pets are strictly forbidden. No other dangerous objects. Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? The look on her face is killing me. I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on the trip. Well, the nice thing, Shifa, is you only have to play one UFO 50 game a week, and they're pretty short, so you can definitely phase in with us still, even with the answer in Metaphor. Mash the button. You know you can activate skip, even for text not previously read? What do you mean? Seigi, the Japanese word for justice. Oh, I think this is also the character that the Marines have in One Piece. His calligraphy was always a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can! I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? Even though you stowed away on the ship. Now you're gonna bring that up, are you? I can't win. What's the deal here? That's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But, did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Suzato-san. I ate the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. I feel like there was turbulence between the books and that. Oh, Shingo, I just have I don't know, like not even a nervous tick, just a tick of pressing the buttons. I like to press buttons. Kazuma didn't like the chicken at all, did he? No, that's right, so he didn't touch it. Good hearing, wow. Really good hearing. Meant all the more for me. Oh no, does that mean poor Kazuma spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Ugh, now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat wherever he was writing. London Diary. He didn't even make it to his destination. Looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it? Let's see what it says. Could be a valuable clue. Hiya! Out of the question! What? Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you may not read his private thoughts. But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. She is so funny. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? This feels very British, this music. The vent is very suspicious. An opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can... Ooh, I like that Giratina. Did I not do the knife? Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin. It would appear to, you're right. If its purpose is to allow fresh air, surely it should be connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough. I suppose, maybe that's it. What? Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. Okay, I'm glad. Okay, I was like, is this man here the whole time? As far as I can tell, looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he? You've noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall! Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no, I don't have any foreign friends or any acquaintances. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. Something very unusual about him. And is he investigating Kazuma's desk? Or playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. Am I imagining it, or does Susato look uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expect you've noticed already, but just in case, if you press A on people, you can converse with them. Let's converse. Excuse me? Excuse me! Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh! This is a critical point in my investigation. Wait, does Herlock Sholmes speak Japanese? Maybe I should tell him and just leave him alone? He seems a little unfriendly. Oh, right, he's British. He's British, that's right. Why is everyone saying British? Is that how you pronounce English words? British. I'm so British. Greetings. I hope I haven't... Ooh! What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? Hello, Governor. Hello, my name is Herlock Sholmes. Ah, I see. Fascinating. I cannot do a British accent. Sorry, what do you see? Feels like he's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're so wrong. What? And now, whilst venturing toward foreign crimes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Well, that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. Is he just wrong about everything? You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the beribboned occupants of the very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life, too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you're talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in the cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? That Posey did. I don't even see one person who fits the bill. So it's true. It was you who did the Sakazuma-sama. What? And you're plotting a revolution, too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen. There's no way I... Hi-ya! We were on the floor a lot, aren't we? Tell me everything! Oh my gosh, she's the best. This is ridiculous. How do you do a British accent? Oh, I'm so British. I love the tea. I love tea. Your Highness, Your Majesty, I love tea. I'm so very British. I love tea. Your Honor. I can't do a voice at all. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. As for you, what kind of deduction was that? You would have said the first thing that came into your head. Ah, but was I not right? Whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, see? What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, the ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see, and I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. Ha! I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Herlock Sholmes. So, it's really you, the actual Herlock Sholmes. The very same, the imitable, actual Herlock Sholmes. Do you know this man, Suzato-san? The most famous detective in the world, Naruhodo-san? Of course I do. What planet have I been living on, then? We must ask him what he's deduced. He'll have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? So you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Herlock Sholmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Herlock, was it? No, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair, but please, call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, Rant's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Ah, here it is. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories then? That's a real magazine? That's a real magazine? You've had so many of your own stories, you start to think you really are a detective? Make no mistake, I'm not the poor, deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in this magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy as of late. Why, this very moment I am returning from Asia, having solved the murder of a cursed royal crown. Really? Can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, to me is a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in a subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, all these things are data. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. Yeah, we got everything wrong. How can he look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn for both the observation and deduction. Herlock Sholmes. Before we started talking, you were examining Cosmo's desk, weren't you? Cosmo? Oh yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful in it at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see the victim was engaged in penning some text. London Diary. Cosmo was keeping notes of the trip. Ah, but I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic! And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've already read it? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Susato-san, aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair. Life is so unfair. I love how serious she is, too. Whatever do you mean? She's such a, she's like a straight-laced comedian. The straight man or whatever. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to the details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, Banzai, Mikado. Nado nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. Ha! But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters of which I can't read precisely none. Ah ha 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 ha! So what was all that showing off about before then? If you would be so kind as to show me, I'd be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obliged, my dear madam. The final entry here consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice there on the wall which connects the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. It's a long dialogue. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Luckily for everyone on board, the great detective was on here. And the handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. Ugh. Did I introduce my name yet? The moment I laid eyes on the scene, 2 facts were immediately apparent. Oh, really? 2 facts, you say? Mr. Sholmes, what do you make of this? Shh, quiet. When I'm ruminating in the course of my deductions, nothing must disturb my mind. Oh, sorry. Ah, an Indian curry, perhaps. What's he ruminating about? The lunch menu? Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean. Then a famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. Holy cow. How do we keep getting these bots? Can we get a mod up in here? Ah, yes, the sordid details, a fairly commonplace deduction. We have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, whoa. Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai? This feels like an actually accurate thing, like a historically accurate thing. Who knows if that's true, but wow. Very interesting. The vessel made a port of call at Shanghai, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma a Russian? Sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor. The culprit was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik. No, how could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Well, you're a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please, villain Bolshevik Ace Attorney. Your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Okay, actually, Sholmes, to be fair, that's a pretty good deduction. I was making fun of him at first, but it's actually pretty fair. That's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination. The journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was concluded. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters? And what about the part where you said I was returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik has recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? Hey, Nachito. This Afghanistan place. Oh, thank you. Okay, wow. How do we... What terms do we stop to get this? Wow. You may find the article on the back page of interest as well. Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Whoa. Who is this, babe? This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san? Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, you think? I like it, Chagraz. Good idea. I suppose you enjoy articles like this, don't you? I mean, I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you've noticed this article. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She's, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from a dressing room. Wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Susato's eyes are shining like diamonds. The tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet. It would seem the director was beside herself with worry. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Recovering the girl and her tiara. Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo. Alright, we'll skip through that. I'm in handcuffs and under house arrest, not to mention Suzato-san. Now the great detective has deduced I'm some kind of Russian revolutionary. My chances are slim at best. Perhaps I should see what the detective has to say for himself. Oh, here we go. What two facts were apparent? Ah, yes, but first, let us be precise. The two facts in question were immediately apparent. I understand, yeah, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The two facts I deduced from a mere momentary glance. Number one, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number two, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hang on, Mr. Sholmes, what makes you think the victim was Russian? I'll observe the dying message. The Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? In the final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. Kazuma was a Russian, was he? No way he was Russian. There's no way he was Russian. This has to be the Bolshevik. Gord Rob, Robert Gard. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Quite so, I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is traditional dress of the Russian people. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress? I had no idea. Suzato, no! And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim in the message and I might analyze it for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered. Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. The first time I've actually seen him like this. Is he actually dead though? Is it actually possible he's dead? To me it seems also possible that maybe he got knocked out by the blunt force of like a shaking. We have no blood there. I don't know. Yes, thank you. You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary? Ah, yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? Ho! How many times? I'm not Russian. I don't speak Russian. His outfit of being part steampunk is so cool. I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being. Do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold. Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate. Here the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in the matter, no? No point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit. Wait, what? What? Does Sholmes not think he was the killer? You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So, what were you looking at, my knees? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you're the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Ah ha 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 ha! Now he's just being plain rude. And off he goes, having just laughed at my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as mine. Look at that humor with a U. Thanks, Holmes. Thanks, British people. Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for? Oh, whoops. His sense of humor is as twisted as mine. Investigate the cabin door. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can... After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're gonna roll over and accept your fate? Ugh. As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I think we still have some investigation to finish off here, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin. Good idea. Situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this. Bring the real culprit to justice. Oh, gang, I'm getting kind of sleepy. Not that I'm not interested in the game, but just I've been working so hard. That was quite a detour. No? Nothing wrong with the ink pot? It's a very large traveling case, isn't it? It carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on the vessel. Brought on board inside that case. I see it says this way up in Japanese. In hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and I was tossed on the floor. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. Oh, I just did that. I thought maybe I could get the juice. Excuse me. I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. You mind if I investigate a little outside? Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it is not true, I see. The criminal asking prison guard to help him escape. Very funny. We're in the middle of the sea. There's no chance of me escaping. You stay in this cabin till next port. And up to Hong Kong. Are we going to Hong Kong? That's kind of crazy. Are we going to Hong Kong? Holy cow. I thought we were going to London. Maybe we're going to... Well, I mean, obviously we're going to go to London eventually, but maybe we'll go to Hong Kong first. Wow. Okay, I'm pretty close to calling it a night, I think. I know I haven't streamed for very long. I feel like I need a nap or something. I've just been working so hard for this weekend. Sleazy, nice to see you, man. I want to see and help the crewmen to force it open. This bolt had been firmly closed. Quite a small bolt, not particularly sturdy. Still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin. Oh, that's cool, Shingo. No wonder everyone suspects me. I get all tense and feel a chill down my spine. Hey, what were you playing with magic? What magic were you playing, Sleazy? Commander? Drafting? I remember reading once in a detective novel. Oh, that's true! That's true! Hong Kong is British! That's right! Oh, that's right! That's part of the British Empire! I didn't even consider that, yes! I forgot! What deck were you playing, Sleazy? A needle and thread to draw out a bolt. Oh, look at her reading. A clever trick, isn't it? But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal and they seal together perfectly. Be no possibility of using the needle and thread here, I'm afraid. That look on her face. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles up all and down my spine. Oh, look over there. Oh, mono green elves. That sounds like a strong deck. Sounds fast and aggressive. I love it. What commander, I wonder? That's what I thought. Why don't we try talking to him? Probably because I'm likely to get yelled at again. But I suppose I could try. Is that... something wrong, Naruhodo-san? Oh no, it's just... that crewman standing by the door. Can't help but feel I've seen him somewhere before. Ooh, Rakdos! What commander do you like to play, Kim? Who's your favorite Rakdos commander? You're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes, what can I do for you? Right. We saw him in the intro, too. It can't be. Hosonaga-san? And even the way that he's holding himself. I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Hello again. This is so funny. He does not. He stands out tremendously. I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board the ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. Oh, that's a new one, Sleaze. That's a pretty new card. Helps you play cards at the top of your deck, right? If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. Never expected to see this man on board. His outfit is so funny. Perhaps his presence can help me get out of this hopeless situation. What are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes. Why are you dressed as a member of the crew? Hey there, Cito! Cito, are you... so Saturday and Sunday, are you on for this weekend? I'm so excited to see you, dude. I'm sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For who? For what? Whoa. My orders were to act as bodyguard? That's crazy. It was the Minister of Justice, Jigoku, who pushed for this overseas study tour. You are, Kirito, and you too, Kwanzaa, yeah. He entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Why would he be assassinated? How could that even have been a possibility? Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love flashing in. Tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. I don't take my eyes off him the entire time, from morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside my own cabin, not here on the first-class deck. Okay, the plot is thickening. Oh, King Enma, yeah. I failed miserably, and Asogi-san is dead. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word. I guess he must be able to speak some Russian. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer. Of course not! We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, we need to be allowed out of the cabin. I'm sorry. You've been deemed to risk the ship's safety. Glad to hear it, Giratina. If you move to even touch the handle, that stormy-looking seaman would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now, they think I'm a murderer as well. The fact that the crew speaks Russian is very suspicious, isn't it? In terms of these revolutionaries. To give me something to work with, I need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain. I don't see how. There may be a way. Really? Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? It's just the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Select the present panel. Evidence that will give us a viable reason. Hosanaga the goat. I like how the game makes it pretty natural giving you the tutorial. Ah, this is the paper seal that was stuck over the wardrobe. That's right, to try and stop the cabin steward opening it up and discovering me. Wouldn't it have been better to write it in English if you didn't know Russian? Maybe, but Ofuda paper amulets like this are a part of our culture, Inspector. And I thought if I made it look creepy enough, people would be too scared to want to look inside. It isn't easy being a stowaway, is it? Inspector, can I show you this? What the? Is that a fabled Imperial Yume pin badge? I'm not sure if it's really fabled exactly, but... You're a genuine student, then. Nothing like me with my regular schooling. You're something much greater. Is that what you were trying to say? Can I have my badge back, please? Interesting. The speckled band, perhaps? Kazuma's diary. Just before we died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. So do we know it's a snake because of the intro? A speckled band, that is strange. We're still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. That ventilator clearly joins the next door cabin. If we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. What a badass. This feels like it's related to seppuku in a way. Obviously, like, he wouldn't actually kill himself, but like the intense lengths that people would do, you know, to make something, to prove a point. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Select move and we can leave the cabin at last. Okay, gang, I'm really sorry. I'm super sleepy. I need to take a nap or something. I've been working too hard. I gotta catch up on my Z's. You guys know the in-person stuff. I've been working so hard. Oh, man. Darn it. Kind of a bummer. But that's okay. We'll keep it up, you guys. Obviously, next week we'll continue more. So we're not going to be streaming tomorrow or Thursday. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we may do some IRL streaming. Maybe with a phone, maybe with a laptop, who knows. But we'll have some fun from our IRL meetup. So we can have a lot of fun. We definitely got a lot, which is cool. Yeah, you're right, ZX. Thank you. Good night, everybody. See you guys next stream, which, again, will be IRL. Should be some fun to see some real faces, put some names to faces. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. See you in a few days. Catch you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. And peace out, everybody. Good night to you.